1985 from Bharatiya University. He then completed postgraduate degree in psychology, sociology, English, education, and business administration from Annamalai University. He obtained his MPhil degree in labor studies from Madurai Kamaraj University and was awarded PhD in psychology from Bharatiya University in 2009. Dr. Paramanandam has presented a large number of papers in national seminars and conferences. He has attended more than 10 quality improvement programs organized by IMB, XIME, TAPME, and other premier B schools. He has been a resource person for gender sensitization program conducted for the Tamil Nadu Police Department. He was a member of Board of Studies in Management, Bharatiya Universities, and many other boards of various B schools. And he's actively involved in research and guides MPhil and PhD scholars. He has been awarded the Best Faculty Award from GRG Trust. And Dr. Paramanandam believes in continuous learning and knowledge as the key driver in life. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the FDP. You may unmute, sir.
Thank you, madam, for the nice introduction. Thanks a lot.
Over to you, sir. Over to you. And I'm really sorry about the delay. I appreciate your patience.
Thank you.
The floor is yours, sir. Yeah, we can see the screen. We can see.
Madam, at the outset, I would like to thank our management, our director, our chief mentor, our FD coordinator, Dr. Madhav Kumar, the opportunity you have given to me. Especially this is a faculty development program known as soft skills and life skills. Really, these soft skills and life skills, I'm very much interested in these skills because, in my opinion, hard skills can be learned easily than life skills. I think so. For example, I believe I know the subject organizational behavior, but now, you know, for the past 15 minutes, my BP, I think, was around 180, 190. So I was not able to control my tension. So I believe more than hard skills, soft skills are very important, very important. So for the past 15 minutes, how I behaved with my colleagues, right, will determine the kind of environment that we create at GRG Summers. Okay, anyway, I think this is a very valuable FDP. Maybe the participants, at least they learn something out of it. It is not enough if they learn, they should try to practice it. So it's a very important FDP. Okay, this session is all about leadership in teams. I think last 2 sessions you spent time on leadership. What is leadership? What are the traits and skills required for effective leadership? What are the challenges? You might have learned about all these in the previous sessions. Now this session is for is devoted to understand leadership in teams. Okay. So this is the session outline. We start with teamwork. Then we move on to team leadership. Then in this session, we just focus on 2 important variables that determine leadership effectiveness. One is motivation, the other one is power. So this is the session outline. Okay, I want this session to be more interactive. I hope you are not hungry. Are you hungry now, participants? Are you hungry?
No, sir, we are not. At least I am not.
Oh, okay. So, because I think some of you might have studied organizational behavior. You might have come across a famous personality called Abraham Maslow. You might have studied Maslow's theory. Abraham Maslow said even God cannot fuck a hungry person in terms of food. So, so that is why I just wanted to check whether you are hungry. Okay.
Sir, but I'm hungry for the knowledge that you're going to give right now, sir.
Excellent, excellent. So I am inspired. In fact, I am inspired by students. Every day I learn a lot from students. In this case, I think from colleagues. Today I learned a lot from colleagues. So I'm inspired when you said that. Okay, let's start with why teamwork. We all know business environment is rapidly changing. Nowadays, experts talk about VUCA world. VUCA, V-U-C-A. VUCA stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So that is the kind of environment that we have. Organizations face a number of complex challenges. For example, competition is intense, international. We have cutthroat competition. So how to organize work in order to respond effectively, in order to respond speedily? Management experts, they try to come up with solutions which will enhance agility, right? So now, in order to respond speedily to changes in the environment, one of the ways, right? There may be a number of ways, but one of the ways is organizing work around teams. So that is why now more and more companies organize work around teams. The reason is teams are flexible and they are responsive to changing events than traditional departments. I think you may know that. So that is why teamwork. There are some other reasons we'll take up later. What research says that we'll take up later. Before that, I think sometimes people may have doubts about the differences between work groups and work teams. Groups we know, right? Two or more people with a unifying relationship. That is the simplest way to define a group. Two or more people with a unifying relationship. That's a group. Team is a mature group. Team is a mature group with complementary skills focused on task accomplishment or achieving a goal. But these are the basic differences between work groups and work teams. The goal. What about the goal of a work group, work team? The work group, the objective of a work group is to share information. Members in the work group, they share information. That is the major objective. Whereas in the work team, the objective is collective performance. Synergy. What about synergy in a work group and a work team? Synergy, probably you all know about synergy. Synergy is actually a biological term. In biology, they define synergy like this: action of two or more substances that results in an effect that is different from the individual summation of the substances. That is synergy. That is in management, we talk about 2 + 2 = 5. Right? Positive synergy, negative synergy. So in a work group, the synergy is usually neutral. Sometimes it may be negative. Whereas in a work team, synergy is expected to be positive because the objective itself is collective performance. So there should be positive synergy. Then accountability. In a work group, individuals are accountable. Whereas in a work team, both the individuals and the team, the entire team, accountable. What about skills? In a work group, the skills may be random and varied. Members may have different skills. Whereas in a work team, members should have complementary skills. In case if we have to understand this concept better, then probably a team. See, we have a number of players, and players have different skills. For example, some of them have bowling skills, some of them have batting skills, and a few maybe wicket keeping may have wicket keeping skills. If all of them are bowlers, what will happen? Just imagine, suppose in a team all the players are bowlers and they are not able to bat, the team may not be able to achieve the goal. If all of them are batsmen, so there is a ratio. There may be some exceptions. There may be some all-rounders. In every team, we find some all-rounders, right? So in a team, members have complementary skills. Well, now I add some more reasons why companies move to teamwork. Research by ACAS. ACAS is actually it's a consultancy in London, Advisory, Conciliation and Arbitration Service, London, ACAS. They conduct a number of studies, and Tavistock, probably you might have come across this institute, Tavistock Institute, London. So they conducted a study on teamwork. So the conclusion was that if you organize work around teams, you can increase productivity, you can improve quality, you can implement new technologies. Motivation, you can motivate. What's happening? Is my PPT visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay. Members will be motivated to work in a team rather than in a traditional department. This new technology, sometimes you might have heard about, especially those who are working in management, you might have studied about resistance. When a company introduces new technology, some sophisticated technology or latest technology, employees have a tendency to resist. But in a team's case, you can overcome that resistance easily, and they will accept. In most cases, teams will accept introduction of new technology. Teams are flexible. That's why teams are flexible, and you can respond rapidly to changes when you organize work around teams. So that is why more and more companies move towards organizing work around teams. Okay, now actually the session is all about leadership in teams. In order to understand what a leader should do, we should understand teamwork better. So this Maslows and others in 2004, they conducted a number of studies, and finally they published a paper. Is there a big five in teamwork? That was an article by Maslows and others. Is there a big five in teamwork? Maybe those who are working in management department, you might have studied in OB about big five personality theory. In personality, personality is an elusive concept, and there are a number of traits, but these traits can be narrowed down to just 5 basic dimensions of personality. That theory is called the Big Five personality theory. So in this case, teamwork So these people, Salas and others, they arrived at just 5 components, dimensions or components of teamwork. One is mutual performance monitoring. In a team, each member should be able to keep track of what the other members are doing while doing his or her own work. So that is mutual performance monitoring. Backup behaviors. Sometimes members may need some help from others, right? So you should not forget that what is a team, right? Complementary skills, positive synergy, collective performance. So we should keep that always in our mind. Backup behaviors. Members may need some help, and sometimes there may be some deviations in the work. So in that case, you have to adopt, you have to readjust your strategies. That is the third one, adaptability. The team should be able to readjust its strategies in order to achieve that goal, adaptability. Active leadership. So what a leader should do in a team, the leader should create an environment where these 3 happen. Right, in a team, there must be mutual performance monitoring. There must be backup behaviors whenever members need help, and whenever the deviations occur, the team should readjust its strategies. So leadership should take care of these 3. Then the last one is team orientation. The previous ones are components, behavioral, right? Something connected to behavior. Whereas the last one is about attitude. Members should hold a collective attitude, collective orientation, team orientation. So these are the components, dimensions. Let's call it big five of teamwork. So we keep this in mind. In this session, we are concerned with team leadership. So we should remember these dimensions: performance monitoring, backup behaviors, adaptability, and this attitude. A leader should take care of all these. Okay. What are the skills needed? Let's answer this question also. If you work in a team, what are the skills needed? Listening. My doubt is it a difficult skill? Do you think members in a team they listen to others' views?
They do listen, but it is not that easy task. At the same time, it is also difficult to some extent.
Correct. Okay, it depends. It depends upon the team, but in general, some of the studies indicate that members do not listen actively. Right. That is why experts have come up with another term called active listening. Probably in communication session, probably she may talk about that. Right. So listening, we should listen. We should question. See, don't forget you should keep that in mind. Positive synergy, collective performance, right? Effectiveness, team effectiveness. When a team can be effective, I have a doubt like this. Suppose in a team, one member says something, nobody questions it. Can you expect the team to be effective?
Not really, sir.
No, sir.
May not be, right? The team may not be effective. It depends. Of course, it depends, but the team may not be effective. That is why one author has written like this in a OB book, communication chapter. When the author begins the chapter, usually when the author begins every chapter, he will give a quote you might have seen in books, right? In textbooks. So communication chapter, the author starts with a quote by someone. In a business, if there are two people who always agree with each other, in a business, if there are two people who always agree with each other, one of them is unnecessary. I think I like that quote very much. Right? When a member says something, we should question. We should ask questions. Probably you might have come across a concept called the devil's advocate somewhere, right? Maybe relating to conflict stimulation. Devil's advocate, a person who purposely argues against popular views in order to create conflict. So questioning, you may not create conflict, but members, if they question others' views, team effectiveness may be high. Then we should have the ability to persuade. You all know, respecting. If members do not respect each other, probably you cannot expect positive synergy, collective performance. Helping, sharing, participating in the task, everything in teamwork, communication. So all these skills are important. The problem is sometimes members may not have all these skills. That is the problem. Okay. Leadership. So actually we are concerned with leadership. Okay, I think the previous sessions are dedicated for leadership. When you think about leadership, what is your take on leadership? How you look at leadership? In general, leadership. It may be political leadership. It can be managerial leadership. Any. I think it's a vague question, right?
So as per me and from the sessions that we have done previously, leadership is more about influencing and guiding people who follow you. Either it could be, the same could apply for a political leadership or leadership in an organization. So where you'll be able to influence a group of people and guide them, those who are your followers.
Okay, good. So my point is, whenever you think about leadership, we should think about influencing. Leadership is all about influencing. It is a social influencing process. You influence somebody, you influence a group, you influence an organization, you influence a society, right? So leadership is the ability to influence a group toward the achievement of a vision or set of goals. So that is how we define in general leadership. Ability to influence a group toward the achievement of a vision or set of goals. Okay. Then the major question is why leadership is important. Why some companies are successful, why some companies are not successful. Even in a promising industry, some companies are not that much successful. Why? One of the reasons is the quality of leadership. Why leadership is important? So these are the reasons according to Jecks. Jecks has written a book on Steve Jecks. He has written a book on organizational psychology. Excellent book. to understand social processes in an organization. Leaders provide strategic direction. So they only, leaders only fix the goal, how to achieve that goal, everything. Leaders engage in motivation and coaching behaviors. Especially, the second one is more relevant for small groups and teams. Leaders engage in motivation and coaching behaviors. Leaders motivate members, and they indulge in coaching. We know what is coaching. Then they enforce and interpret organizational policies. Maybe the top management may send some policies. Periodically, we all know, periodically companies, institutions, they revise policies. And the leaders only go through this. I think you have a doubt, right?
ऑलरेडी 3 बच्चे हैं
हाँ
हाँ
वैसे अंकल के साथ
जाओ अब इनमें कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया दीपक सर
Okay, so leaders interpret policies. Then one of the major responsibilities of leadership is obtaining resources, both personal resources and material resources. That is why leadership is important. But we are more concerned with team leadership, right? And this is in general leadership and why leadership is important. Dimension. Fishman and others in 1991. Because now we try to understand what a leader should do in a team, right? A team leader, what a team leader should do. Fleischmann. So they have come up with a taxonomy of activities, leader behavior dimensions. 4 major dimensions: information search and structuring, information use in problem solving, managing personal resources, and managing material resources. I think faculty members working in management department, you might have come across management roles. Do you remember management roles identified by Henry Mintzberg? Faculty members working in management department. Okay, Mintzberg has identified 10 different roles performed by managers. By this Fleischmann and others, they have identified dimensions which are similar to those roles. Information search and structuring involves these 3: acquiring information, organizing and evaluating information, feedback and control. I think you know that. Information use in problem solving. So teams work on problems. They have certain tasks to be completed. For that, identifying needs and requirements, plan and coordinating. You have to communicate information. Then managing personal resources. You have to obtain and allocate personal resources, developing person. I think Shipra has a question, right? Then utilizing and monitoring personal resources. Then 4th one is managing material resources. You have to obtain and allocate material resources. You have to maintain material resources. So these are the 4 major leader behavior dimensions identified by Fleischmann and others. You just keep that in mind. So In order to understand team leadership better, you should keep everything in mind. How a team differs from a group, what are the skills needed, what are the components, what are the dimensions. Right. This is specific to a particular team leadership. Hill's model. This is a popular model for team leadership. Leadership decisions. The first box deals with leadership decisions. Leadership decisions may relate to these three areas: monitor or take action, task related or relationship related, internal, that is within the team, internal or external. So these are the leadership decisions. Leadership decisions may relate to these areas. Let us consider this internal leadership actions. Internal leadership actions may relate to task or may relate to relationships. Task means, for example, anything to do with the work. What is the goal? How to do a procedure, standard, quality, everything connected to the work will come under task. Relationship, the trust, recognition, right? All those, support, everything, relationships. Then external leadership actions, like networking. You have to collect information. You have to scan the environment. All those relating to environmental. So all these three actions, that is internal leadership actions relating to task and relationships, external leadership actions relating to environment, all these three will determine team effectiveness. Team effectiveness in terms of performance and development, how the team performs and how members development. So this is a popular model for team leadership. Right. In a VUCA world, this is very important. This skill, you can call it a skill, cognitive flexibility. Any idea? Can you tell me what is cognitive flexibility? Can someone interpret what is cognitive flexibility?
Sir,
Yes, madam.
so it would be like, of course, I'll have my own thoughts and decisions and ideas. Of course, at the same time, my peer would also have that. So it's all about thinking, considering the same, not just about my idea or something. So it's all about giving space, incorporating what would match with the current context.
Okay.
So according to me, cognitive flexibility would be to adapt our behavior and thinking to the environment as it keeps changing.
Yes, madam. You have to change. You have to change. That is, you have to. You should have multiple perspectives on everything. Probably you might have studied theory of multiple causation. A particular phenomenon may be caused by number of factors. Theory of multiple causation. So when something happens, some of us have a tendency to stick to one particular thing. This is what causes this. This is the cause and this is the effect. Right? We don't change our view. So cognitive flexibility is you should be able to shift from one view to the other, one thought to another. Agility. Now this you may call it agility. Now companies need.
पूजा की नहीं, मैंने पूछा था इतना वेट कर रही है पूजा की, पूजा कहीं गई हुई है।
Right. So now, since the business environment is complex, companies need managers who are agile. You should have cognitive flexibility. That is, you should be able to shift from one system of thought to another. Agility. It's all about agility. I think most of us lack this agility. We are not flexible in our thought system.
Ma'am, somebody, can you please mute that who's talking? It's unable to hear sir properly.
Okay, now you may have a doubt how to develop cognitive flexibility. Suppose you want to develop your mental agility. How to achieve that? We can try. This is based on this. See, you can try these methods. Alter your everyday routine. I have a doubt. Is it easy? Is it easy to alter your everyday routine?
No, sir. No.
We should try
Take
that.
some time. Yeah.
Maybe your family members may scold you, or that may lead to some problems, conflicts. But even then, right? Just you can explain to them that you want to develop your cognitive flexibility or agility. You want to be agile, so you change, you alter your routines. Then sometimes we don't seek new experiences. We have certain habits and we don't change those things. For example, on a lighter side, right? For example, I always prefer hard copies of documents. Suppose a book, one book, I prefer a hard copy of that book. I never read a soft copy of that particular book. I don't like it. I don't like it. So I should change that. I should have the ability to change. So we should try to seek out new experiences. Practice thinking creatively. Creative thinking, probably again I think divergent thinking. You should think. You should have the ability to think multiple perspectives, right? Different ways of solving a particular problem. Right? Creativity. Don't always take the easy way. Some of us have that habit. We always try to take the easy way. Go out of your way to meet new people. Are you ready?
Can I say something on this, sir, please?
Are you ready to go out of your way to meet new people?
Yes, sir.
Can I say something on this, sir?
Yes, sure, madam. I'm waiting.
Yeah, there has been a study on this also. I mean, it says that even in your normal routine, when you're coming, from your office from your home to your office, when you take the route, okay. So try every 2 days, try to find new routes to reach your workplace. Okay, simply because you can take in the new scenarios, you can see things, new shops, new people, maybe new experiences along the route. So if you start from this small exercise, maybe in the larger in the larger picture, you would be able to take new routes, or change our daily this thing. So that also could add into that, and we could get used to it, and that is going to bring a newer this thing. And this, what we're talking about, go out out of your way and all that. So that becomes more easy. So if we, you know, the same route, because I take the same route from my home to my office and I'm seeing the same people, and I'm disinterested. So if I'm going to find different routes, that is going to add to my experience and also add some color to my, you know, boring routine, maybe, you know. So that's what we should be doing. That was a very nice study that was done, sir. And this is how we don't become slaves of our habits. We can keep
Correct.
changing that. Yeah.
Correct. On a lighter side, see, when faculty members appear for interviews in colleges, what happens? Suppose one person says, "I have 20 years experience." Don't take this example seriously, right? Suppose one applicant says, "I have 20 years experience," and that person says, "I worked in only one college. I worked in only one college for a period of 20 years." Suppose another applicant says, "I have 12 years experience and I worked in 5 different colleges. In that college, I worked as a lecturer, and in this college, I worked as a senior lecturer, and in the other next college, I worked as an assistant professor, something like that." He has 12 years experience. You know what the choice of the management? Any idea who will be preferred?
The second applicant, sir. Applicant number second, sir.
That is what happens. Actually, you may think that the first candidate who worked in a single college for a period of 20 years, that's an achievement, right? 20 long years in one college, whereas the second person, 12 years only, but in 5 different colleges. And if you ask some people, they may say, no, management may not prefer the second candidate because he frequently changes college. But sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes they assess the exposure. Okay, the second applicant is exposed to a number of colleges. He knows a lot, and probably is the right candidate, a meritorious candidate. Something like that. The first candidate may not know anything, so he just remained in the same college for 20 long years. So people think like this also. We should understand that people think like this. Then when you learn something, you should transfer your learning. Right? When you transfer learning, you can learn new things. When you transfer learning, you learn new things. I teach organizational behavior for MBA students. In every session, I learn something. I learn a lot when I teach something. For example, if I teach attitudes, when I give examples, students will respond to some of the questions. And then probably I will be able to get some new insights into attitudes. So these are the ways to develop cognitive flexibility. Okay, now actually as a leader, you have to motivate your members. So before we take up motivation, just what a leader can do. First of all, a leader can make use of certain motivational strategies, or simply he or she may plan, coordinate because of his behavior, right? Not necessarily strategy, motivational strategies, by properly planning, coordinating, organizing, giving feedback. A leader can motivate members. Then this collective team efficacy. Any idea what is collective team efficacy? Team efficacy, collective team efficacy.
You may also respond in chat box.
Oh,
So I guess it means working together to get the desired results.
okay. So
I mean,
collective team efficacy, perception of or beliefs of team members about how well they perform their work.
okay.
Right? It is a perception. It is a belief whether we can perform our work well or not. Collective team efficacy. So team leaders should improve this collective team efficacy. First of all, they should believe in performing. Otherwise, you may have a doubt how to improve that collective team efficacy. Bandura, probably management faculty might have come across Bandura. He emphasized on models, role models. How to improve efficacy beliefs. 3 ways. One is history of successful achievement. In the past, suppose you have achieved something that will enhance your efficacy beliefs. Then observations of modeled behavior. Models, you can observe models, or team leader can persuade, or someone can persuade. That is influencing process. So these are the ways by which one can improve efficacy beliefs. Okay, now we are concerned with team leadership. Our objective is to improve team effectiveness. So for that, you have to motivate your members. So just look at motivation, right? In the context of team leadership. Probably already you might have come across all these theories, but the point is implications for team leadership. That is important. So already we know performance is a function of motivation, ability, and environment. In the environment, there should be a supportive environment, or obstacles should not be there, right? Obstacle-free environment should be created. That is the function of a leader. So performance is a function of motivation, ability, and environment. Okay, so that is why we are concerned with motivation here. So we go into motivation. Already, you know, I believe you are all highly motivated people. So you know what is motivation. This is how Robbins, the second definition given by Stephen P. Robbins, famous author on OB, processes that account for an individual's intensity, direction, and persistence of effort toward attaining a goal. Intensity, we know how hard a person tries. Direction, in which direction? Whether that motivated behavior will help the organization to achieve its goals, or the reverse will happen. Direction. Persistence, how long a person can sustain that effort. So this is a comprehensive definition for motivation. Intensity, direction, and persistence of effort toward attaining a goal. Now, team leader. The team leader should understand What motivates people at work? Can you tell me something that motivates people at work? What all will motivate people at work?
Promotion, sir.
Okay.
Bonus, increment,
Okay.
job enrichment, enlargement.
Excellent. So you're all familiar with
Appreciation.
job design techniques, right?
Okay.
The job design is just to eliminate monotony. Okay. So the content should not be monotonous, right? That is the idea. Again, job design or job redesign. Okay. Okay. So so there are a number of factors that motivate people at work. We should understand that once a leader understands what motivates people, then to some extent it will be easy. Basically, the types of motivation. One is extrinsic motivation, the other one is intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation is what you said now, right? By giving promotion, by giving bonus, by giving by redesigning jobs, you can motivate people. All these extrinsic motivation. That is something the external to the person, external to the person. Intrinsic, something internal, right? Sometimes we are intrinsically motivated. A desire, we have a desire to perform. We have a desire to accomplish something. Intrinsic motivation, extrinsic motivation, intrinsic motivation. Okay. See, whenever people motivation, I think probably they should start with this Maslow's theory, right? Can you summarize this Maslow's theory? The basic tenets of this theory. Can someone? Abraham Maslow. Abraham Maslow has come up with hierarchy of needs, right? He said people have needs. Can you?
So this theory was given by Abraham Maslow. What he says is a human being, no, he will be crossing these 5 stages. I think he is in need of these 5 needs that will be followed as a hierarchy 1. He says the first needs as physiological needs, that is basically the needed one, as like the examples are given there. Food, shelter, sleep, these are all the basic needs that are needed by a human being. When this need is automatically fulfilled, man is a social animal, no? Automatically he will be trying to go for the next need, that is called as a safety needs. He needs some security for his life. Some of the examples are quoted there. When this need is over, automatically he will go for the next need is called as a social need. This is called as an love and belonging one. He is in need of some love and affection, no? So this is the thing. And when he achieves these things, no, automatically he will be going for self-esteem need. When self-esteem need is over, he will be going for the self-actualization need. This is the last stage that was given by Abraham Maslow. In this last stage, the man will be in he will be in a full potential one. What he expects, no, that will be achieved in the last stage, that is called as a self-actualization node. So what he summarizes here is the needs are going in a hierarchical way. Based upon the criticisms of this theory only, some of the other theories came out of this.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
Good, good. So, to summarize what you have said, people have a set of 5 needs, and these 5 needs can be arranged in a hierarchy. Now the question is, which need will motivate an individual, right? That is the question. The lowest level of need that is not currently fulfilled will motivate an individual. For example, maybe at 1 o'clock, can you tell me which is your lowest level of need that will not be currently fulfilled at that time? at 1 o'clock? (1 p.m. or 1:30 p.m.?
Food, sir.
Food.
You'll be hungry at the time, right? So physiological need will motivate you at that time. So that is what Maslow said. Lowest level of need that is not currently fulfilled will motivate an individual. Once a need is satisfied, that need will no longer motivate that individual. The next need upward in the hierarchy will start motivating that individual. So this is the summary of Maslow's theory. Self-actualization is becoming what one is capable of becoming. So once this particular need starts motivating, you cannot fulfill that need. Right? It will continuously motivate that person. So Maslow's hierarchy of needs. A leader should understand this. A leader should understand the different needs of different members. Right? One particular member may be satisfied with his needs. He may be motivated by, for example, the esteem need or self-actualization, like that. So a team leader should understand the needs, the unsatisfied needs of the members, and he should know how to satisfy those needs. We know how to satisfy each of these needs, right? Expectancy theory. Actually, this is a content theory, right? Motivation theories are categorized into two. One is content theory, the other one is process theory. Content theories focus on what motivates people. So here we have seen what motivates people, but the process theories, how exactly an individual is motivated, right? What happens, the process. So Victor Room's expectancy theory, individual effort leads to performance, performance leads to rewards, organizational rewards lead to personal goal. So effort performance relationship, Victor Room called this relationship as expectancy. Then second one, performance reward instrumentality. Then third one, rewards personal goals relationship balance. So according to Room, the motivating score is equal to V into I into E, right? VIE theory. Sometimes it is called the VIE theory, balance into instrumentality into expectancy theory, VIE theory. So in a team, what a leader should do, the leader should explain how your effort will lead to performance. So that relationship should be explained to the members. And performance reward, if you perform at this level, what you will get? A leader should explain to the members, then the members will be motivated. So this is expectancy theory. Equity theory, I think probably you're all familiar with equity theory. We always compare our ratio with others' ratio, right? Outcomes divided by inputs. If there is equity, you will be satisfied. If there is inequity, then members may try to change their inputs. They may change their outcomes. Inputs means, for example, the effort, right? The amount of effort members put in, or the amount or the quantum of time members work. So inputs, changing outcomes, distort perceptions of self, distort perceptions of others, because you compare, one member compares himself with other person, right? The referent. So this member may change, may distort perceptions about himself, or he may change perceptions about the other person, the referent. So members will be motivated to do this. Or the member may choose a different referent, or the person may leave that group, the team, or even the organization, leave the field. So this is equity theory, Stacey J. Adams. equity theory. Now, recent research evidences indicate people are more concerned with organizational justice. There are three dimensions: distributive justice, procedural justice, and interactional justice or interactive justice. Distributive justice is a perception of fairness in the rewards distributed. Procedural justice, perception of fairness in the procedures used to fix those rewards. Interactional justice relating to quality of interactions, how you are treated, how members are treated. So a team leader should take care of these. Organizational justice. As people talk about, I think one of the participants talked about empowerment, right? Empowerment, empower, removal of conditions that make a person powerless. Conger and Kanungo contributed a lot. There are two dimensions: one is structural empowerment and the other one is felt empowerment. Structural empowerment, what you can do, something connected with the decisions, authority, leadership style, structure, information, organizational climate. This is structural empowerment. The felt empowerment, the psychological empowerment, how employees feel, right? They should feel confident. So in general, removal of conditions that make a person powerless. That is empowerment. By empowering members, a team leader can motivate. Cognitive flexibility already we have seen. Sorry. So the last concept in team leadership is all about power. Any idea how we define power? I think you are hungry.
Yes, sir, we are hungry, but we are listening.
Okay, good. I know you are all highly powerful people. Power is the ability to influence the behavior of a person, right? Power is the ability. It is again an ability. Power is the ability to influence the behavior of a person. Okay, already we know what is leadership. Leadership is the ability to influence a group toward the achievement of a vision. Ability to influence a group toward the achievement of a vision or set of goals. So for that, in order to influence people, you should have that ability to influence, right? That is power. Power is the ability. Yes, yes.
I would also add that power should be something that is morally neutral. That's what so far working in an institute I learned. That should also be morally neutral.
Yes, yes. Free from biases. See, power is a dangerous concept, right? When bad people have power, sometimes that happens.
When I was growing, I thought was that we just need money to be successful in life. But later I understood that we need both money and power. So it's
Yes.
where I realized as you said, the danger and the beauty of power.
Yes, so power actually it's all about politics, right? Power leads to politics. Okay, let's avoid that term, that concept, politics. Let's avoid politics. Team leadership, to come back. We are in team leadership. Leadership is the ability to influence a group toward the achievement of a vision or set of goals. For that, leaders need the ability to influence behavior of members. That ability is called power. Formal power, personal power. There are two categories of power. Formal power includes these three sources or bases of power: coercive power, reward power, and legitimate power. Coercive power, we know, by force. By forcing someone, you can influence that person. Coercive power, reward power. If you are able to distribute some rewards, then you may have power. You can influence that person. Legitimate power, authority, right? I think this figure also explains. In a hierarchy, people have legitimate power. So these are the basis of formal power. The second category is called personal power, expert power, referent power. If you have expertise, I think the first picture, I like this picture very much. I'm afraid of statistics and mathematics, but maybe if you have expertise, probably if you have power, you will have the ability to influence people. Referent power, if people identify themselves with you, if they appreciate you, then you have a referent power. You can influence behavior. Influencing behavior means you should have the ability to affect the thoughts, feelings, and behavior of a person. Right? That is influencing behavior. You should have the ability to affecting thoughts, feelings, and behavior. That is ability. Okay. There are 5 bases: coercive power, reward power, legitimate power, expert power, and referent power. In a team, what will be your preference? If you are a leader, you will rely more on which base? Or relying more on which base is good? Among the 5 bases, power bases, these 3 are formal: coercive, reward, legitimate. These 2 are personal. Expert, you have the expertise.
Of course, personal power, sir. In a group, we prefer personal power.
Excellent. So that's what research says. See, personal sources of power are most effective. Both expert and referent power are positively related to employee satisfaction. And not only that, coercive power may sometimes backfire. So this particular slide is important. We all work in teams, right? You consider your department as a team. Actually, you may be working in MBA department or in a BP department or in a physics department, chemistry, whatever department you are working in, right? It's a department. It's a traditional department. It's a group. Probably that group may work as a team. That is aimed at collective performance, positive synergy, right? It's a team is a mature group, right? Mature group focused on achieving the goal, the vision. So if you are a member of a team, try to focus on your expert power and referent power. Try to develop these 2 bases. Try to develop expertise and referent. People should appreciate you. People should follow you. People should like you. These 2 bases will help you to influence other members and you will become a big shot. Just a look at power tactics, what one can do to gain power. These are the power tactics. Legitimacy, we know what is legitimacy, rational persuasion, inspirational appeals. Sometimes just by inspirational appeals, you can influence people. Consultation, exchange, by exchanging something, personal appeals, ingratiation, flattery, that will work. Pressure, coalitions. Rational persuasion. Some of the effective tactics or tactics. Rational persuasion. See, this new procedure will save this much. You can persuade people like this. Consultation. We all know, right? When members are consulted, probably they'll be motivated. Rational appeals. You can do it. Getting that account will be tough, but I know you can do it. You just inspire your members. Personally, probably, I think nowadays in Facebook and in other social media, probably you might have seen this kind of personal appeals. Have you seen this kind of appeals in social media?
Very frequent they are, sir, all the time. Don't know which one to trust.
Correct. So for some people, this is a tactics to earn money. Probably you might.
Sir, there are people in organization even raising funds.
Correct.
Which reach to lakhs within days for such things.
Correct. But in the recent past, you may remember, for a particular baby, a baby needed 16 crore rupees for a particular treatment. 16 crore. And because of this tactics, because of this personal appeal, they were able to collect that 16 crore for a particular treatment of a baby. Just, I think last, maybe just 2 months back, personal appeal on social media actually. Ingratiation. Only you can do this job. You can do is okay, right? But only you can do this job, right? Ingratiation. Flat. So in which direction you want to influence, that also matters, right? Influencing, okay. Power, you influence the behavior, ability to influence the behavior. Which direction? Whether you are trying to influence your superior or your team members or your subordinates, right? So different tactics will be effective in different directions. Upward influence, this tactics, rational persuasion. When you try to influence your superior, you should persuade them, rational persuasion. Downward influence, you can try all these tactics. Lateral influence, when you try to influence your peers, again, these tactics will work. Finally, what a team leader should ensure to be effective. In order to be effective, what a leader should purpose, there should be a purpose, Members should know that purpose. They should feel empowered. They should do something so that they feel empowered, right? So you do some structural empowerment leading to psychological empowerment, self-empowerment. So empowerment. Support and mutual trust. This mutual trust, it's really very difficult, but once you achieve this, then you will perform better, your team will perform better. Then conflict, how do you resolve conflict? Maybe in the next session, I think I have to talk about conflict. What happens in a group when that team encounters conflict? Conflict, how to stimulate conflict, how to resolve conflict, everything. The next session. Next session means the 10th, I think. Then development needs. So the development needs may be different among different members. A team leader should understand those needs and periodical review. So a team leader should understand the whole thing. Team components, skills needed, team dimensions, teamwork dimensions, leadership behavior dimensions. A team leader should understand all these. Then the team can be effective. Okay, doubts and questions. I think in the chat. Okay, I think now my conclusion is that you are all hungry, if not angry.
Being honest, sir, yes, a lot of us, I'm sure, are hungry, but your session is going
Again,
great,
I
so we
remind
can hold on.
what Maslow said, you cannot talk to a hungry person except in terms of food. So now, if I want to talk to you, then I should talk in terms of biryani, rasagulla, something like that, right?
Professor, that's a wrong choice to talk at the time when someone is hungry. You'll be adding to the hunger.
Okay, thank you very much for your active participation. Thanks a lot. I thank our coordinator, Dr. Vandana Madhav, for the opportunity she has given to me. Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It was a very insightful.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
May
sir.
May
Thank
I
you, sir.
Dr. Kavita to formally thank sir.
Sir, thank you so much. Even though we had a little bit of technical difficulties in the starting, I think you managed. That session was really informative, and I think they were, even though it is a lunchtime, they have been very much participative, right, sir? Thank you so much for sharing your experience. We know how much of experience you have in these areas, so that has been reflected today.
Thank you,
Thank you
madam.
so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.